Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Proper Take. It's Friday, April 1st, first day of April, which only means one thing. Baseball starting in 6 days, so super looking forward to that. But let's get on to today's games in the NBA. We did give Bulls as the NBA pick yesterday. That's 3 NBA picks in a row in the last 3 days we've given on this show. We did give the Ducks 2. They were plus 150 and ended up losing in overtime. So that was close. But let's have a look at today's games. So we start off with the Toronto Raptors at the Magic. Magic have lost their last 4, while Raptors are on a 4-game win streak. These teams did play 4 weeks ago in Toronto, though, with the Magic upsetting the Raptors. So Toronto will want some redemption here. As well as if they win, they go 3 games clear of the Cavs in 6th place, so they don't have to worry about the play-in. They're an 11.5-point favorite against the Magic. Both teams are pretty healthy, pretty much the most healthy they've been all year, so no real injury worries to look at for this game. The 11.5 is... I don't know. It's a tough one. No big favorites won yesterday and covered the spread, should I say? So it'd be interesting to see if they cover the spread today. There are a few other big favorites too today. The next game is going to be the Dallas Mavericks versus the Washington Wizards. Wizards did win the only previous matchup between the two this season, but that was back in November. Mavs are a completely different team now. As far as the West goes, Mavs are currently in 4th, tied with the Warriors. Mavs should be able to sew up that third spot with the win. Wizards are only playing for pride at this point, but Porzingis will be playing against the team that traded him. And I think there was some animosity there before he was traded. I don't think he liked playing with Luka and under that system. But I must say that since Porzingis has been traded, he's been given like a new lease of life. He went, 35 points the other night? I haven't seen him put numbers up like that since before his injury at New York for the Knicks. So... That's an 8.5-point spread for Dallas. Injuries go. No new injuries to talk about. Kuzma's still out for the Wizards. I kind of like the Wizards to cover that spread. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Pacers at Celtics. Pacers are on a 5-game losing streak. Their injuries haven't helped them at all. They've literally been playing with 8 to 9 players for the last few games. So by the end of the game, they kind of got nothing left to give. Even though they nearly came back the other day against... Who was it against? They were only down 2 or 3 in the end. Was it 76ers? Obviously, they've got nothing to play for now. They're just looking to finish out the season. Celtics have lost their last 2 games. Currently sitting 3rd in the East, 15-point favorite in this one. Only Royce Williams out for them. But we don't know if Pacers are going to get any players back. They've got Bitadze, Brissett, Brogdon, and Jackson all as game time decisions today. So that will be a huge part to see if they could cover the 15-point. If they're all out, then Boston could very easily cover that 15 points. And we got the Kings versus the Rockets. In my notes, I've pretty much just got it is what it is with this game. I mean, it should be a good game to watch from a medium basketball fan, but not for one that's not really interested in basketball and just interested in the big action, because I don't see much going on in this game, and it's a coin flip as far as the spread goes. So we'll move on to the Suns at the Grizzlies game, which first versus second in the West, right? But what's a shame is Grizzlies have got so many of their starters out for this one, which is why the Suns are a 7.5 point favorite in Memphis. I think Adams, Bain, Jackson, Morant, Tyrus Jones are all not going to be available today, whereas the Suns have a pretty healthy lineup, so that's going to make a huge difference. Never really seen the Memphis play without so many starters out, so I'm not sure what kind of Memphis team is going to show up. I tell you this, though, Coach Jenkins will have them play in the Memphis way, so they'll be playing fast, they'll be playing hard for sure. Both teams are on a win streak. The Suns are on their 9-game win streak. Grizzlies on the 6-game win streak. And they're tied 1-1 on the season. Both road games won the matchups before this. So I wouldn't touch this game just because I don't know what Memphis is going to turn up. And then we got another one with everyone out. The Clippers at the Bucks. Both these teams played last night and have had to travel for this one. Both these teams went to overtime last night. Clippers obviously losing to the Bulls and Bucks beating the Nets after that. Main man Giannis, I mean, he put on another MVP performance with a 44, 14, and 16 game. It's unlikely the Clippers are going to move from 8th in the West, so I get it. I mean, no point killing your players on a back-to-back. Whereas the Bucks are chasing that number 1 spot. It was an 8.5 point favorite of the Bucks yesterday. They've now moved to a 4 point favorite, which was immediately like, so who's out? So let's look who is all out of Milwaukee. They have no Giannis, no Drew Holiday, no Brook Lopez, and no Chris Middleton. So their 4 best players are out of this one. But then you look over at the Clippers, but Clippers have learned how to play with injuries because they've played without players all year. But they have no Batum, no Boston, no Paul George, no Reggie Jackson. Obviously, Kawhi's out, no Morris, and still Powell and Preston's out. So, I mean, who are you gonna pick in this one? 4 point favorite is Milwaukee, but 4 best players are out. We haven't really seen Milwaukee play without all 4 of these, to be honest. Not at the same time. It's been rare. It's been a while too. So I'm not touching the spread on that one. They're killing me with these injuries out. You know. The Pistons at Thunder. So OKC's +5 at home. All I can say about this one is pretty sure the Kings and Rockets game are going to be more fun to watch than this one. Yeah, I won't be watching or taking this game. The Blazers at the Spurs. Now, the Spurs are a 15-point favorite. I don't think Spurs have been a 15-point favorite for a while. Not this season, anyway. Spurs need a win to stay ahead of the Lakers. But 15 points is a lot for this young Spurs team. No new injuries for Portland. No real new injuries for San Antonio. I can't take the Spurs at 15 points. I just can't. They haven't proved that they can blow teams out that easy before, so I wouldn't be taking the Spurs. Timberwolves versus the Nuggets at the Nuggets. This is a game between 6th and 7th. Timberwolves have a small chance of catching the Nuggets. If they win this, they're going to have the tiebreaker for sure because they won the previous 2 games this season. So they'd be 3-0 against the Nuggets and only 2 games behind with like 4 games left. So this is a chance for them. They're +3 in Denver. No new injuries from either team to talk about on this one. The last game is going to be the Pelicans at the Lakers. Lakers have lost their last 4, obviously, as we know of, and they need the win to get back into playoff contention. Pelicans are 2 games up on the Lakers in the play-in, so if you feel like if they win this one, then they'll be good in the play-in, and Lakers won't be able to catch them because they'll be 3 games ahead then of the Lakers. So this is a big game for the Lakers. Anthony Davis is back today. LeBron James' game time decision. I think they realize this is a must-win game to be in the playoffs, so I have a good feeling that they're going to both play regardless of how healthy LeBron is. So that's all our NBA action for today. As far as NHL goes, we are gonna take the Ducks again in NHL. They're coming off a back-to-back, yes, but so is Arizona, and Arizona is just stricken with injuries. 10 losses in a row. What do we say about red and black? It's got to be the one for the Ducks today. We're just playing the numbers game, as well as, we like them. Ducks have got a great young team, and they've lost 10 in a row. In NBA, we're going to take our only pick of the day. As I said, not touching the Phoenix game, not touching the Clippers game, not touching the Detroit game, not touching the Houston game. It doesn't leave us with much, but I'm going to take the Timberwolves +3. Timberwolves +3 versus the Nuggets. I feel like they're perfectly matched up for each other, with Timberwolves just having a little bit more than just Jokic, basically. So we're taking the Timberwolves +3, and that's our bets for the day. Timberwolves +3 and Ducks money line. Let's get them.